Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Synced Up Designs Equipment Basics. My name is Kyle, and in today's video, we're going to be taking what we learned in our basic drop spins technique and expanding off of it by learning our Peggy spins and our finger twirls today. And before we get into any of that, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell icon so you can always stay up to date with us. Anyways, let's go learn our Peggies and our finger twirls. So in general, the Peggy spins and the finger twirls are both fundamental skills that amplify the overall approach we take when we do drop spins. Peggy spins will take what we know and change the hand placement on the flag, which thusly will change the speed and rate of motion that you're going through the spin itself. The finger twirls, however, are a little bit different because they don't change hand placement, but they do only isolate one hand movement. So you're keeping the rate of speed the same, but you're only using one hand as opposed to two. So we're going to start with our Peggy spins, and you'll begin in a regular right center position like you would for a drop spin. We're going to initiate count 8 and to pull to the angle, drop down to grab thumbs down on count 1. Everything up to here remains the same. We have not changed anything quite yet. When I start to bring the silk up to re-grab with my right hand, instead of grabbing underneath with my thumb up and close to my left hand, I'm actually going to grab money hand at the first tape instead of being closer to that left hand. So we grab down with that left hand, I bring it all the way around, and I grab money hand with my right hand at the top tape. Whenever you grab with your right hand, you're always gonna grab in a money hand when you're doing Peggy spins specifically. Once I've done this grab right here, I'm gonna let the silk fall into my hand. Notice the silk is up right now when I grab this right hand, so just remember that. I'm gonna let it fall into that right hand, and I'm gonna bring it all the way back to that up position before I put my left hand back on it. Once it gets back to this upwards position, I'm gonna take that left hand and grab over my right hand with my thumb facing down. Whenever you grab the left hand on the pole, you're gonna always make sure that that thumb is facing down. So the right hand grabs money, the left hand grabs over facing downward. The silk is up right now and I just grabbed, so I pulled from this money hand right here, I pulled all the way around to the silk being back on the upside, and I grabbed over with that left hand. From here, I let it fall into the left hand and I bring the silk back to down. Not going all the way around, just right to the first down. Once it's here, I'm gonna grab money hand again, but this time at the tab instead of at the tape. So I'm traveling between the tab and the tape as I do these hand grabs. So I'm at the tab right now with my right hand. Notice that my pole is up right now when I do this grab specifically. So I'm gonna let it fall into my right hand, and I'm gonna bring it all the way around again to where the pole is back up again. So whenever you grab in the right hand and you're about to pass it off to the left hand, notice if the pole is up or the silk is up, you wanna get all the way back to one of those sides being up the same way. So we're back to this pole up position. I'm gonna grab over again with that left hand, my thumbs are facing down. And then from here, I just repeat the process. I pull it up to grab money hand at the tape. I bring it all the way around to silk back up to grab over with my left hand. I bring it down to grab under at the tab. And now my pole is up, so I have to bring the pole all the way around before I grab again with my left hand over. As you're doing these spins, like I said, you're traveling between the tab and the tape. The left hand doesn't really move though. The left hand, unless it's taking off the pole and letting the right hand do the motion, it's always gonna grab in the center between the tab and the tape. The right hand is either gonna grab the tab or the tape. So the right hand is the one that's gonna travel into different parts of the flag as you do your Peggy spins. So one more quick review. Start at the beginning. We grab in that down space. We pull up to grab money hand at the first tape. We pull it all the way around to grab splitting over with our left hand, thumbs facing down. We grab underneath money hand at the tab, and then we bring it all the way around again to grab over. Once we do that, we can just repeat the process to continue our Peggy spin. Again, always make sure that you're grabbing over with that left hand as you're doing Peggies specifically. So I was mentioning earlier that when you're doing a Peggy spin, the rate of speed is going to fluctuate as you do the skill. And that's because of where you're grabbing with your right hand on the pole. So when we were doing regular drop spins, we kept our hands central in the center where the tab is to make sure that the spin was consistent and didn't change in terms of speed. But as we do Peggy spins, we're moving from the top tape to the tab as we go through this. So we're either pulling more of the flag around or we're pulling less of the flag around. So whenever we're pulling more of the flag, we still want to make sure we're traveling and covering the same amount of distance, which means that the flag is actually going to speed up whenever I am grabbing at the tape. So a quick demo of that, I grab down. When I grab at this tape position, I want to get it all the way back to that up position, but I have more flag to work with. So I need to get it around there super quickly to get there in time. But then when I pull to the half position, that's a very easy grab and less distance to travel, so the flag actually starts to slow down. But even here, when I'm working in the tab and trying to get the pole all the way around, there's still less distance for it to travel for that left hand to grab around because I'm working from the center of the pole. So whenever you're grabbing that right hand in money, you want to think about getting this pole or the silk all the way around in time, as opposed to how much distance the left hand needs to travel to hand it back off to the right. So that's where the fluctuation is going to happen as you go through. Another thing that this causes to happen whenever you're working through this is because we're going through the different speed changes, instead of grabbing at the pure vertical positions every time, you're actually going to connect with it at the flats. That's going to help you increase the speed whenever you need to. So whenever I'm grabbing with that right hand, it's going to be at the flat position, and then I grab at the vertical position for the left hand. So we go flat and vertical and flat and vertical. Those are going to be your checkpoints as you go through. So just make sure that you're thinking about that position as you're going around to ensure that you're getting through the speed of the Peggy spin a little bit faster. You can see as I do it consistently that the speed and rotation starts to whip around a little bit faster whenever I'm grabbing with my right hand. So just notice that as you're working through the skill set. So to stop your Peggy spins, you're actually going to go back to doing a regular drop spin. So when you do Peggies, you want to at least do 8 counts worth of them so you get the full practice in of at least doing 2 Peggies, because again, we're working on different sides of the pole as we're going through this. So we do our Peggy spins for 8 counts. We'll go 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8. From count 8 right here, my right hand is back underneath at the tab with the silk up above the thumb. I'm going to push up to grab 1 with a regular drop spin. So I'm grabbing underneath with that left hand instead of over like I did for my Peggies. Grabbing underneath, and then I pull up to count 2. So earlier when we did drop spins, we would go 7 and 8, but this is the only difference where we go 1 and 2, just 2 extra spins with that. The transition is slightly different because we are now past count 1 and count 2. So the only difference is we're going to take that top hand down on count 3, and then we'll bring the bottom hand up on count 5 like it usually does. So we just did 1, 2, move down 3, hold 4, up 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you're ready to go on the left side. A quick review of the left side. We pull 8 and to regular drop spin count 1, grab money hand at the flat, this time with the left hand at the top tape, bring it all the way around to grab over with the right hand, splitting the tab and the tape, and then grab underneath at the tab. We repeat that process to grab over, splitting the tab and the tape, and then we grab underneath again to where we can continue that process all the way around. To finish it out, we grab drop spin 1, up 2, switch 3, switch 5, hold 6, 7, 8, pull 8 and you can repeat the process, or that would be the end of your exercise. Now we're going to move into our finger twirls, which again is going to be the exact same idea as a drop spin, but you're only going to be doing it with one hand. So let's first go over how we start. We're in that right center position, same exact as we do for the drop spins. We're going to pull to grab count 1 the exact same way. So Peggy spins, drop spins, and finger twirls all start with the same downward grab position on count 1. From here, as I let the silk rise up, I'm going to take that index finger of the hand that's currently on the pole, and I'm going to bring it up and around to the back side of the pole. So currently the pole is split between my index finger and my middle finger. We like to call this a bunny ear grab in color guards. So this is our bunny ear grab right now because it creates 2 little like bunny ears wrapping around the pole. So we grab 1. As we start to pull up, I'm going to sneak that index finger around to grab on the other side of the pole. From here, the flag is going to spin in between both of these fingers currently. I can use my thumb to help push this. As it starts to go up, my thumb is gonna sneak underneath to grab on the other side of the pole. So essentially, we started with the index finger on the front side and the thumb on the back side, and as we do the finger twirl, we're gonna switch that. Index finger goes over as the silk rises, and then when the silk comes back around, the thumb is gonna sneak to the front side to where it has just the index finger hooked over the top of the pole. So we do our downward grab. As it comes up, we sneak that index finger. As it goes around to the down, that thumb sneaks underneath to the front side. And then as we bring it back up, it spins in between my thumb and my index finger, and I can grab back again at the tab, and that is one finger twirl. So the first half of it spins between the index finger and the middle finger, and as it goes back down, it spins in between the thumb and the index finger, and then I can grab back at the tab. From here, I would just repeat the process, and that would be a full 8 count worths of finger twirls. We go down 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. So you're just wrapping the index finger and then wrapping the thumb finger to go on the opposite sides of the pole to twirl it between your fingers as you go through. Notice that when I am doing this, my rate of speed stays the same. So when we're doing drop spins, we're going down 1, up 2, down 3, up 4. When I do a finger twirl, it goes down 1, up 2, down 3, up 4, down 1, up 2, down 3, up 4. So just make sure that as you're working through that finger twirl, you're really trying to keep the rate of speed the same. So to finish off your finger twirls, it's actually going to be the exact same approach as you did for your Peggies. So when we finish the 2 finger twirls in 8 counts, we're going to stop with our right hand grabbing at the tab. From here, I'm going to pull to that first down position, grab a regular drop spin on count 1, and then I slide up count 2. We have the same transition where the top hand goes down on count 3, the bottom hand goes up on count 5, and then we pull count 8 and to initiate on the left side. To quick review the left side, we pull to grab regular drop spin on count 1. As the silk starts to rise, I snake that index finger around to the back side of the pole to create that bunny ear shape with my fingers. As it comes back down, that's when my thumb will go around to the other side. When the silk is rounding this corner over here, it's really just spinning between my 2 fingers, being the index finger and the middle finger. So allow that to happen so your thumb can freely move to the other side of the pole. From here, it spins between my thumb and my index finger, and then I lift it back up to grab at the tab. Make sure, one thing, I'm gonna try and give you a good view of this. One thing you wanna be aware of is as you go to snake the thumb around to this part of the pole, you wanna make sure that you pull the 3 fingers, being the middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger, out of the way as you spin it between your thumb and your index finger. If I keep those fingers out, I'm gonna prevent the pole from continuing to rotate. So I wanna make sure that I allow it to continue spinning between my fingers and go onto the other side of the index finger before I grab with my left hand. So just think about that as you start to spin it between a specific set of fingers, that the other 3 fingers are not preventing the flag from continuing the spin. And just to give a quick recap over everything we talked about today, we went over our Peggy spins and finger twirls. Peggy spins just having a different approach in terms of where our hand grabs and how they grab, which then ultimately affects how the speed fluctuates throughout the exercise. We then also discussed how to finish it out and transition to the other side. Instead of pulling to stop on count 8, we pull to stop on count 2, and then we have a fairly similar transition. When it comes to the finger twirls, the rate of speed stays the same, but we're only using one hand, and we talked about the specific finger placements that allow us to continue the rotation within the same amount of speed. We also covered how it ends, which is the exact same way as a Peggy, and then how it transitions, again, it's the same way. And that was our quick introduction video on Peggy spins and finger twirls. Both these skills are super fun to do because they help us really start moving the flag in more creative ways and start playing with some time fluctuation or one-hand responsibilities, which is always super fun to do. Again, always make sure that you're just taking the time to practice, and over time, you'll get so much better at them. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like down below. And if you have any questions at all, as usual, go ahead and comment that down below too. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good day.